My name is Emma and I'm a software engineer at Tech. As a software engineer at Tech, but also a consultant, my role is to work with civil servants and teams in the public sector to build systems or improve on existing technology. Working as a consultant software developer means I do more than just write code. We're involved in regular meetings with the client to help steer and refine the goal of the project, and also make sure that it's in scope and valuable to the end user. In the past, I've worked with teams of just Tech developers and also in blended teams, so working with public sector technologists as well as Tech colleagues to try and build something or update a system. My daily routine usually starts with stand-up, so this is where the whole team will meet for a short meeting to cover what they did yesterday, what they plan to do today, and anything blocking them from progressing. The day can then consist of meetings if it's a ceremony day, so that's the start or the end of a 2-week sprint. And on ceremony days, we will present to the client what work we've done as a team over the last 2 weeks, and then discuss between the team and the client what worked, what didn't, before planning the next week of work for the next 2 weeks or next 2 weeks of work. It's a really meeting heavy day, but it's good that we have a lot of time to reflect and refine our process. On any other day, I will usually have a mix of solo coding and pairing or mobbing. That's working with lots of developers on one problem together. And I'll just be working through my tasks for the week. I'm also involved in a couple of communities of practice. So sometimes I'll take a break from coding to go to a meeting for one of those. In these meetings, we will usually discuss broader subjects in the technology and coding world, or career progression and shared experiences if it's on the same peer level. It's a really great way to keep in touch with engineers who I don't work with every day. I'm a career changer who has wanted coding to be my full-time job for a long time, so working as a developer is already basically a dream come true. On top of that, I really enjoy the tech industry as a whole. As a newcomer, I find it super refreshing how much conversation there is around improving and refining our own processes. It makes it so much harder to get stuck in a rut with a system or a process of trying to work through the problem that isn't working for you or your team. I also really like that there's a lot of excitement around new technology and continuous learning. Everyone I work with is always really keen to pick up a new skill or learn from their colleagues, and it's great for me to know that I have people I can ask for help and learn from, and also that I can share my skills and help others. Do it. The tech industry is a great industry to get into. But really, I would say if you're trying to get in, my main advice would be to not be intimidated. The tech industry loves its jargon. It loves making things sound more complicated than they really are. And I remember before I became a developer, I was super intimidated by all the terminology, things like agile, cloud, continuous integration, etc. But once I found out what these things were, I realized actually nothing is crazy complicated. It's just a matter of experiencing it firsthand and kind of getting to grips with it. And one of the best ways to do this is my second piece of advice, which is that I would encourage you to find other people who are passionate about technology and work together to build something. And in that way, you can implement all of these things that sound really complicated when you sort of read about them. But when you implement them, you'll sort of get to grips with them much better. I found that my learning increased tenfold when I was working together with other people to solve a problem. You end up less stuck trying to fix your own, tiny problem because you have several brains working together, and you just get a lot more cadence. Basically, you get a lot more done when you're working as a group. So you feel a lot more progress happening around you, which I think is a really great motivator to keep going.